Welcome to Techstination. Joining us is Michael Abcunas, a Senior Product Manager with Stanley Healthcare. Thank you for joining us, Michael.
Thank you for having me.
And Stanley Healthcare is, I guess, a fairly new arm of Stanley Black & Decker. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so great question. Stanley Healthcare has been around for a while now, but what we're doing is something completely new for our organization. So Stanley Healthcare is the healthcare business unit inside of Stanley Black & Decker. So you might know us as a power tools appliance company, which you should. We're a very large company in that side of the world, but we're also, growing in our Stanley Healthcare organization. So we primarily do business today in the B2B world. So we provide safety, security, and tracking applications inside of the acute care markets, so hospitals, as well as the long-term care space. So we have, over 15,000 customers in that market. But what we've done now is created a new health at home strategy for our Stanley Healthcare business, utilizing our Black & Decker brand, which has been around, for over 100 years. And that's the brand that consumers know. You may not know Stanley Healthcare unless you're in one of those two spaces. So now we're trying to bring, some of our healthcare knowledge as well as our consumer insights and brands to really that aging in place market is where we want to begin. So those unpaid caregivers is the first entrance, and that's where Pria comes into the fold, which more products will come. But this is the first one that we've brought to market just a couple months ago.
Well, we're going to get into that. And one might have assumed that Stanley Healthcare might have been making like drills for dentists or something, but I guess that's...
Yeah, one might think that maybe someday.
Terrific. Well, you mentioned the name Pria, P-R-I-A, and it looks like a terrific, very interesting product, super high tech, almost like a little home robot. Tell me about this.
Yeah, so it may look super high tech, but it's extremely easy to use. And you start off with the name. So Pria, derives from impropria persona in the legal terminology, which means standing up for oneself. And from the Indian descent, it means loving. So it's an interesting name, and we wanted to put a persona as what you called the robot. And some people have called it the robot. Some people do call it by name. And what we wanted to do is create what looks like a state-of-the-art product, but make it extremely easy to use for both the unpaid caregiver that may be monitoring the person using that device to, get their medications, as well as that end user that's getting them for themselves. So, for example, it looks techy. There is even a patent around the way that the product is designed for that look and feel. And yes, it is really that countertop, type appliance, but at the same time, there's not even a power on or off button. You just simply plug the device in and you're good to go.
All right. So, well, let's describe it and step back a little bit and what this is all about. This is a device designed to help people take medications on schedule and do it in a really friendly way with a lot of high tech, but as you said, it's kind of hidden. This thing has a screen with a face on it, more or less, I suppose.
Yes, absolutely. So you described it well. So it is a tabletop appliance primarily built for storage and dispensing medications. So we're able to store 28 doses worth of medication. So if you think about a dose, think about it as a period in time. So mom may take medicine at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. We can store up anywhere between 6 and 12 pills per dose. So if mom takes meds twice a day, we're storing her medications for 2 weeks, opposed to maybe that flip-top pill container that sits on her counter today. And, most likely someone's going over to mom's house, or she's doing it herself on a Sunday evening to get ready for the next 7 days. But that caregiver may not know what's going on until they arrive the following week and see that there's pills still left in the tray. We take care of that and add transparency to let the caregivers and the end users know, one, it's time to take the meds, two, if they've been missed. So we actually dispense, we're designed to dispense for the right person at the right time. So if Fred walks in front of the device at 8 a.m., We actually use facial recognition to say, good morning, Fred, it's 8 a.m. Would you like to take your pills now? Or if you opt out of the facial recognition, we could just do a 4-digit PIN code for you to say, yep, I'm Fred, time to take my meds, here you go. And then that information is passed through via mobile application to whoever may be in that care circle. It can be 1 or 5 people, depending on how many people are in the family or looking after mom or dad.
And can it dispense for more than one individual in a household?
It is built for one individual. So the storage and dispensing is for one person. You can connect to multiple caregivers. Multiple people can engage the device. So I mentioned the medication dispensing, but it does much more than just store and dispense medication. It's also a voice assistant as well. So you can ask, for the weather. You can ask how many calories are in a sweet potato. You can have Pria tell you a joke. It has its own natural language processing as well that makes it more than just an appliance. We want to drive that really, user interaction, for instance, with video calling. That's one of our main features. It may seem simple because people have phones and tablets, but it's nice when that's already on your counter, storing your medications, and then afterwards you could say, okay, Priya, call my daughter. And now it does a direct video or audio call to the daughter.
And would that person need a special app, or are you using somebody else's technology here?
Yeah, so it is just the Pria app. So it's one application for both the end user and the caregiving network. So you go on your iOS or Android, type in Pria by Black & Decker, download it. Your credentials tell us who you are. So the end user's view, even though it's one application, is different than the caregiver. And we did that on purpose to make it really simple. And every caregiver may have different personalization. So maybe Ryan can see my medication and send a check-in question to the device that says, hey, have you drank water today? But maybe the daughter can see medication. She can drop in with video calling and actually start up the video, without an acknowledgement. And maybe she can, make additional changes to the device that Ryan can't. So all that is customized via the Pria application.
Terrific. So how did this come about? What was the inspiration?
So we started looking at this market about 2.5 years ago and realized that the aging in place market is extremely fragmented, and medications is one of the first reasons why you may not be able to live at home. And we know that, there's over 10,000 people in the U.S. alone turning 65 a day. And all of those people, or 90+% of them, want to stay at home. They don't want to go to a next arrangement for living. And medications was one of those main drivers. And we found a disconnect between home care, which is extremely costly, and having a nurse come by and, handle that situation, and then the old school pill containers or regular medication dispensers that you only go over to those when it's time to actually have your medication. We said, what if we could make medication dispensing the primary goal of this, which then alleviates the stress of the caregivers? And by the way, there's 44 million of them in the U.S. alone. And now we've really taken care of that. But at the same time, we're combating some social isolation just with a simple video call or a simple check-in question that mom can now talk to that device when the daughter's at work, working full time, has a couple kids at home. Caregiving's tough, and we're trying to relieve some of that stress, which is why we started with this product. And then we'll be tacking on additional products into the portfolio that really help drive the same, stress-free, ease of life, aging at home types of technologies.
Sounds terrific, and congratulations on getting a CES Innovation Award as well. That's a pretty big deal. Now,
Thank you.
Tell us about pricing and availability.
So we actually launched a couple months ago, and we are available today. So we are online at $699 right now. Keep your eye out for some coupon codes, especially this time of year with the holidays. And then we do have a subscription, which I'll talk about in just a second, which when you sign up today, you get 6 months of the subscription for free, and then it's $10 a month after that. And with that subscription, one thing to remember is that, think of Black & Decker. When you buy a toaster, for the first time and put it on your counter, or a drill, that drill is always in the same state. But for us, we are a connected device. So we actually send out monthly updates to the existing platform. So that happens overnight by itself. The end user does not have to do a thing. So maybe today you can set 10 different types of check-in questions for mom. Maybe tomorrow you can customize your own voice message and send a photo to the device. Those are going to continue coming on a monthly basis, as will the mobile app updates, and then more connected devices to come in the future.
Really interesting. So where can people go for more information or to purchase?
So for more information and to purchase, you can go to two different places today. And the first one is okpria.com, so okpria.com, where you can purchase and get as much information or even reach out to us. And then the other is if you just go in your Amazon page and type in Pria by Black & Decker, you can also find us there.
Once again, it's okpria.com or find them on Amazon. Michael Abcunas, thank you for taking the time with us.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Now this. How many companies out there have continued to innovate when it comes to building a better radio? I'm Fred Fishkin, host of Techstination, and I'm here to tell you about the new CC Skywave SSB radio from the wonderful people at C. Crane. Bob and his crew really love radio, and it shows in this new compact model that is packed with features. Beyond great AM and FM reception and sound, you can tune into shortwave signals from around the world, listen to ham radio operators, aviation, and more. It's the radio you'll turn to every day, and in emergencies. It will run for nearly 3 days on just 2 AA batteries. Pair the sleep timer with the new Soft Speaker 3, and you've got the perfect radio for your nightstand. Of course, it can wake you up too. Click on C-Crane at Techstination.com and put in the code Techstination for a free flashlight with your order. They love radio, and you'll love C-Crane.